What's up, everyone? Yo, so my brother Corey Infinite, Corey hit me up earlier today and was like, "Hey, bro, why aren't you posting TikToks? Why aren't you posting more?" And I was like, "Honestly, bro, like I just been going through it the last few months." And we had a good conversation. He hit me later, literally 15 minutes ago, and was like, you should make a video and tell people what you're going through because this is your story, and you're gonna be able to look back on this and be like, now look at what happened, and have that be a great piece of content." And I was like, okay, so let me do that. So I'm gonna tell you all what's been happening the last year and a half in my personal Pressure Makes Diamonds story, and where I am now, and use this piece of content as a real kind of stake in the ground for what is good. So a year and a half ago, at the beginning of 2021, I took a job as a digital marketing strategist for a marketing company in St. Paul. And I was not releasing or taking my music that seriously at that point. I had known for the last few years that I would take it seriously at some point and it would be successful, but that I wasn't taking it serious at that point. Anyway, I got this job, 62,500 a year. I'm making $2,000 a month, $2,000 every 2 weeks, $4,000 a month, working, 8 hours, pretty much absolutely buttery biscuits job, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And the last 5 years, I have been pedal to the metal, creating, building, and really, spending all of my money, not creating any buffer financially for myself, on projects and learning. And so I had this job, and that allowed me a little bit of margin, just enough to create the music videos, to buy the album cover, to buy the songs, the leases on the songs, to do the music videos, to rent the Porsche, right? To buy the videographer for Zone, to get, Henry to do the All My Life, these different things. I was able to use this income from this job. And even then, I was still spending with literally no margin for error. And on top of that, I was loaning out money, and I was at a deficit loaning out money as well. So probably at the beginning of last year, my debt was at probably 20,000, 22,000. And at the beginning of last year, so at the beginning of 2021. And then in the summer of 2021, started taking music seriously, was able to use some of that income and really claimed my place that I was going to do this. And this was the time to do it. Invested in the music, and I'm trading options during this whole time, which has consistently been losing me money. So not only am I investing on the music side, I'm losing thousands of dollars every month, but at that point it was $1,000, $2,000 on options trading. Because I'm a hustler and I'm gonna make it happen. And I'm gonna make it happen one way or another. Anyway, so I later, or at the beginning of 2022, Jump pops off and Meant to Be does well, and the album does well, and I start getting fans, and it's amazing, and I'm able to touch lives, and it's incredible. Everything is starting to move. Invest in these music videos. I took a deal for Jump and for some of my back catalog for 2 years of future revenues for 56 grand in cash at the beginning of, or at the end of January of 2022. And so I had 56 grand in cash, which was the most cash I'd ever had in hand. And this was like, wow, this is a real thing. Like, my music just paid me 56 racks like that. I have it in my Wells Fargo right now. Literally went and withdrew 12 racks and went and paid people, paid some personal debt I had back to two friends that I'd literally been 3 years in the making, paid them like 8 bands or 7 bands. Anyway, did all this great stuff. I'm thinking, this is it. This is it. Like, literally, this is it. Like, I have a good foundation now. I can build with this. And so I put 25 grand in an options trading account, and I take that 25 grand in 6 days and turn it to 135,000 in cash in 6 days, 6 trading days. And on the 7th day, I lost 84,000 after making another 23,000. So in total, my P&L that day was like half of the portfolio size. So I was at like 68 grand, something like that. After that day, ended up losing that entire 68 grand. But here was the thing. I didn't lose it all right away. It took like a week and a half to lose the entire account, and I still had cash aside. I didn't put all the money in. So I started investing more in the trading because I had to make back more. So because of that, well, not because of that, also keeping momentum with my music, Carpe Diem. I know that this is coming out. I have songs, I've been in the studio, and I'm making these plans for Carpe Diem, and I agree to pay $7,000 in cash for the Carpe Diem beat. So I sign an agreement for $7,000 because at that time I was making $22,000 a day in the market. So it was like easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I take a agreement for 7 on the beat, and I agree, and I'm creating this music video, and the music video is going to be like $22,000, as well as the biggest hole in my bucket, which was options. And over the next 4 months, I ended up going further in debt from options. In total, I think I'm like 54 on the year down, $54,000 on the year down. And so it was another like 50,000 after bringing that account that I had 25 into zero that I invested. And my parents invested in me. My parents invested tens of thousands of dollars in me. And this last year has been the most stressful period of growth in my life because I thought I had it made. When I took that deal, I was like, this is it. And then I started making $25,000 a day in the markets. I was like, this is exactly what I'm made for. This is it. And then to see that all vanish over the course of days and to make commitments that were at that level of income really has challenged me. So the great thing about that is that I've had my job to have some income to be able to pay back these consistent debt payments and pay back some of the stuff. I don't have any overhead for rent, and I don't have any overhead for a car, so it literally is just, my phone, the gym, food, and, gas. That's pretty much it. And loud. And so basically, earlier this year in the middle of July, right at the beginning, like second week of July, I'm like, you know what? The Lord spoke to me in prayer that morning, and he told me pretty clear to quit my job, that it was time for someone else to have it. And at that time, that was a terrible decision. And what it turned out to be, right now, it's October 18th, 2022. That was in the beginning of July. So remember, I started the year $56,000 up, pay off a bunch of debt, rent some Porsches, rent some Teslas, do some music videos, plan out Carpe Diem, make all these financial agreements. And then I lose all the money and I lose more. And I take on literally 2 times more debt in order to, what I believed was, make it all back. And I decide to quit my job. Put in my 2 weeks, the beginning of July. The middle of July, July 15th. So I had 2 weeks left. August 1st is my last day. I got my last paycheck. I got a $3,000 loan, luckily. $2,000 of it I put in the markets, lose the $2,000. Classic. It's literally what I've done most of the year, honestly. And after, I'll have like a 4-day streak, but I haven't done a bigger trading streak than like 6 days. Anyway, so after all is said and done, I take more debt on. I quit my job. I now rely solely on my absolute desire to hustle and make this happen as far as income goes. And I realized that before I was making $62,500 a year, I was not making that much. So I quit this job. I have probably the same amount of debt. I probably have like $54,000 in debt at that point. And this is literally credit card debt, debt to my mom and dad, debt to friends and family, debt to taxes, and debt to videographers, my boy Henry, and like all my people who've helped me, who've given me the opportunity to keep my foot on the gas and to leverage and allowed me really to keep losing in the markets. Anyway, so up there, right there, this is the bedroom that I've stayed in the last few years, really, since I moved back from LA when I was 21. Up here is debt on my wall. That is a list of all the debt I have, and right now it's about $73,000, 73 grand in debt in cash. Really a good tuition. I've spent the last year after breading up 56 grand in cash, so I'm down now 76, and I'm not trading at all. And Corey tonight was like, "Hey, bro, it's funny that the album, the titles have been Pressure Makes Diamonds. It's funny that it's like you created the Pressure Makes Diamonds series because like you're living the stuff. Like right now, like you're deep in it." Because I was telling him all this stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, that's true." I said, "Yeah, that, you know what I actually said? I didn't say, yeah, that's true. I was like, honestly, bro, when I thought about that title for the album series, for that really album, I thought it was at that time. Anyway, when I thought about that title and I got that title, I was like, you know what, bro? There's more. I have not been through that much pressure. I'm going to call this Pressure Makes Diamonds, but to be honest with you, I have really not been under that much pressure. And I knew that subconsciously. And I knew that this Pressure Makes Diamonds series, subconsciously, that there would be an actual wave of pressure, that there would be actual pressure in this. And so I wanted to document this, number one, because Corey thought it'd be a great idea, and I also think it's a great idea. And I will write this in a book for sure someday, some of the individual experiences, but I've gone through addiction the last, few years, but marijuana addiction for sure. But other than that, have just been completely wiped out financially and have made sales through eBay, just hustled hats on eBay. Whatever, dude. Hustled hats on eBay, hustled 3 grand in hats on eBay. Not 3 grand, but did a bunch of stuff, had some of the lowest lows. And this year has been some of the lowest lows and the lowest highs. And so Corey asked me why I haven't been posting TikToks and more content. And my answer to that is now, and to you and everyone watching this in the future, is that there is a cost associated with the outcome you want in life. And the sooner you acclimate your expectations to doing whatever it takes in order to get that outcome and being okay with the fact that it's not going to be the way you want 95% of the time on the pursuit to that, you will be completely fine. Where I've experienced the most pain this year is when it had to be a certain way and it wasn't. When I had to make 5 grand in a day. When I had to make $1 grand in a day and I'd lose everything. Literally did it 10 times, 15 times. It literally blew up 10 accounts, 15 accounts. Trading. And Tastyworks is crazy, bro. Anyway, this is my Pressure Makes Diamonds story. Listen, this is the hoodie from Jump. I haven't even shipped out the Jump hoodies yet, 3 months nearly after they were released. Now, they were a pre-order. People knew they were a pre-order, but like, bro, come on. Let's get this stuff done. This should have been done. And so every day now, I have really been realizing through working on new projects, getting steady, following millionaire mentors like Alex Hormozy, who I've been spending a lot of time consuming his content, is like, exactly what I said. You got to adapt and do whatever it takes for whatever it is you want. And for me, publishing content, long loop, but I'm coming back to it. Publishing content and I'm going to be putting out music for the rest of my life. Music is what I will do, and I will be massively successful at it. And I will look back at this video and these times as some of the most cherished, beautiful, loving, growth-filled, challenging, stressful, relaxing times in my life. But that I really did live what it is I said I was going to live and go through. And that it really did start from, this bedroom so many times, and writings on my wall of who I am and who I'm becoming, and all that. So here I am, October 18th, 2022. I probably have $300 in cash right now. 73 grand in debt. I could list off 20 things that I'm owing debt for, but that's fine. And working on a project with my buddy Josh right now, who does body work on people. And really look forward to getting out of this debt, getting my own place, getting my own car, getting a good 60 grand a month at a minimum, getting my parents paid, getting all taxes and all that, credit card loans, personal loans, all that paid off. And really fulfilling this story truly from the ground up, from my own two hands. And one's holding the phone, so I can't show you the other. But really doing it from the ground, doing it right and honestly, not getting rich quick, and getting a consistent stream of music, of shows, of product, of content, and of love to the audience and the lights of this world that I care so much about. And I care about you, and you're here on this earth for a reason. This year has been the only time in my life where I've ever thought any suicidal thoughts, my entire life. And I will just say this about that, is that you are here for a reason. You might not understand the reason. And it undoubtedly is hard. But if you keep going and you just put one foot after the other, and it will get easier. It does get easier. And it's not like it gets easier and then it is easy. It's just like you get used to the tempo at which the song of life plays. Oh, let's go. That was a bar. We're 17 minutes in. This will probably be way shorter than that, but that was a bar. And I'm going to end it with that, honestly. Watch this, yo. I'm about to boss my life up. I am already a boss. I'm a multi-millionaire, 8-figure entrepreneur, philanthropist, and best-selling recording artist. And this right now, I'm recording at a time in my life where I built it from the ground up, and I can stand on this and say that I beat addiction, I beat self-doubt, I beat not having money, I beat not having really many resources, but I have all the resources at the same time, and that's how I built it, is my resourcefulness. And you can do the same with your life and what you want to do. There was a video of FaZe Rug the other day about him driving by this house that he once envisioned when he was just starting his channel, or maybe not when he was just starting it, but either way, he was driving by it in the hills. He was like, oh, this is the biggest house. It must be, the farther up we go, the more expensive they be. He literally bought the house a few years ago. So this stuff is happening. It's ill. This is my story though, and I'm grateful to share it and be on this journey with you. Love you. They need your light. Hope you got something from this. And pressure makes diamonds. Let's wrap it up, baby. Let's go.